You're about to listen to the Dr. Dahlia Show. Sassy, stimulating medical talk radio. Any medical advice Dr. Dahlia Wax gives on her show should not be substituted for an actual visit to your medical provider. And now, here's Dr. Dahlia.
Welcome back to the Dr. Dahlia Show, 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI. What is going on with all these nurses? Nurses are the backbone of our healthcare system, and these nurses are underpaid, overworked, and they have such amazing empathy, and my patients could not have had such successful outcomes if it wasn't for the nurses. Yet, now we have a third nurse that is putting politics over patients. Fox News is reporting that a Florida nurse ends up voluntarily giving up his license after he decides to post on social media that he is not performing anesthesia for MAGA patients. Really? You're in the healthcare field? Really? So, effective as of this week, Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier confirmed that Eric Martindale, the Florida nurse, is no longer a registered nurse in Florida. The Attorney General said healthcare is not contingent on political beliefs, and we have zero tolerance for partisans who put politics above their ethical duty to treat patients with respect and dignity they deserve. Now, what did this piece of work post? Well, apparently on Facebook, he said, quote, "I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for MAGA. It is my right, it is my ethical oath, and I stand behind my education. I own all of my businesses, and I can refuse anyone." No, I don't think you can. True, you might not be able to go to a doctor's office or hospital if you fail to pay bills. If you assault any staff, grab their boobies, grab their butts, we could refuse service. But to refuse service based on somebody being black, somebody being white, somebody being Jewish, Asian, Latino, Democrat, Republican, Catholic, no, you can't. What is ethical oath? I would really like to hear this ethical oath. Now, Martindale later said, my Facebook account was hacked. Yeah, nice try. Now, apparently, he also, I guess, moved to Indiana, did not notify the Florida State Board of Nursing. I don't know if he's working anywhere else, but he did relinquish his Florida license. Now, this followed that VCU nurse. Remember, there was that nurse that told young single women to find ICE agents on these dating apps like Tinder and then poison them on a date or give them X-Lax and then have plausible deniability saying, well, I got sick too, or I don't know how they got sick. It was food poisoning. And then she said to spray poison ivy water, get some poison ivy, douse it in water and spray the water with a spray gun on ICE agents. That's assault, lady. Any of this is assault. And then she encouraged medical personnel to steal syringes with needles on it, either with saline or succinylcholine. Succinylcholine is a paralytic we use when we intubate, do surgeries. Are you kidding? She wasn't joking. She did multiple videos, and from what I understand, she finally got fired. And here's another nurse. Look at this piece of work. Apparently, this is being reported by Fox News, that there was another Florida nurse, Lexi Lawler. She was a former labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Health Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Now, she got fired because she posted a video wishing that Caroline Leavitt, press secretary for Donald Trump, President Trump, she wanted her to have permanent harm during childbirth. She goes, as a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Carolyn Leavitt a 4th-degree tear. Now, 4th-degree tears are very severe vaginal interrectal tears giving birth. It's miserable. You're a labor and delivery nurse. What? You're showing already this kind of bias? A 4th-degree tear makes you happy? You see, one thing about those of us in medicine is a very common thing we say is, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. You don't want to see any maladies or things like that go to people because you're humanistic. You're a human. You help people no matter what their creed is, no matter what they believe, no matter what their they're in there for. I mean, let's say they were in a motorcycle accident and they didn't wear a helmet, and you really feel strongly about them wearing helmets. You're not going to treat the person? No. Of course you're going to treat the person. You're going to feel bad for them. And here we are with these nurses wishing death or wishing complications on somebody who's not Democrat or doesn't believe like them. Politics have gotten so far. Now, why? Why are we in this situation? I mean, politics always mattered, but most of us went about our life. I mean, who cares? You voted for Bush, you voted for Gore, who cares? Nobody gave a damn. But now it's such a big deal because our lives are so entrenched by it. Politics purposely made themselves more relevant. And it forces you then to take on this attitude like, oh my God, this next election is going to be make or break. I mean, people think they're going to die depending on who makes it in the midterms or who makes it in the next presidential election. We're Americans. The whole purpose of having America is no matter who wins, America benefits. We're supposed to get stronger and stronger. Now, sadly, we just had a President, Biden, who made us the weakest we've been in a very long time. So I felt that weakness. A lot of us did. And it worried us, scared us. And so people prayed and they voted and they got Trump back in. But does that mean you have to hate other people? How do you have two Americans on completely different sides of the fence as it pertains to how you should treat somebody? You know, if I'm American, I want Democrats and Republicans in this country. I don't want single party rule. It's fascism. So I don't know how many more nurses are going on social media. And I don't think you should ban nurses from going on social media or doctors. Let us see how they feel. Because if we at all think our healthcare provider is biased and is going to hurt us, the public needs to know. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY. Don't go away.
Hi guys, Dr. Dahlia here. Addictions can sneak up on us and come in many forms, whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, video games, porn, or something less obvious such as food, internet, or shopping. Addiction can seem innocent at first and then evolve into an insurmountable evil. In our book, Addiction Basics, Caitlin Kalikas and I dive into the common addictions and provide tips for identifying and preventing these before they sneak in and take over our lives. Addiction Basics can be found on Amazon or my website, drdahlia.com. Check it out.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shots Secret Gasoline Extreme, the solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with PEA to deep clean. Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shots Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020. 800-878-6020.
we're back on the Dr. Daliah Show, 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So you might have heard about this huge recall. Apparently, there is an FDA recall of a product that they believe might have been contaminated with rodent pee-pee or bird excrement. So a recent notice covers thousands of products that have been pulled by the FDA. They say consumption of these products could lead to several illnesses and infections. They're concerned about leptospirosis, salmonella. I'm wondering if rat also contamination, if they're worried about plague. But customers who might have purchased the following items needs to destroy them now. Gold Star Distribution issued the recall notice, according to MarketWatch. This affects thousands of food items, pet foods, beauty products, drugs distributed to 3 states. This is according to a report in People magazine. Excuse me. They said the recall notice was first released on December 26, prompted after the FDA found the facility was operating under, quote, unsanitary conditions, including the presence of rodent excreta, which means poo and pee, rodent urine, and bird droppings. They say the scary part is that a lot of the items recalled were food products. Yeah, you think? So the FDA has released a comprehensive list of the products. These include Sour Patch Kids, Pringles, Takis, Skittles, JRs, Jolly Ranchers, Kellogg's Rice Krispie, allegedly Cheerios, and drinks such as Coca-Cola, Gatorade, Smart Water, and Arizona iced tea. Now, come on, man. The FDA has slapped a Class 2 warning label on all of the products affected by the recall, and per the federal body, Class 2 basically means that the product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, or where the probability of serious adverse health consequences is remote. So deodorant, medical essentials. Let me see if I have a list. I don't know if we have the time to go through all the list, but I want to make sure I can convey to you what the FDA is saying. Oh boy. Kitty Cat Sensual Enhancement, 18 count. Oh, what's that? Royal Honey, Gold, Red Bull, Male Supplements, Rhino Blue, Rhino Gold, Rhino Max, Korean Ginseng Shot. There's a whole bunch of these. Certain first aid kits, Claritin, Dayquil, Excedrin Migraine. Wow. Okay, this is a list that we're getting from the FDA, and it is Harbro bags. It's pretty extensive here. Okay. Oh, this is multiple pages long. Sorry, guys. All right. What we'll try to do is do a hyperlink to the story on Twitter or X so you guys could access it. But this is very, very troubling. So they said it's affected medical essentials, supplements, all sorts of things. Pet food, as we just said. So the FDA wants you to destroy them, discard them, even instead of sending them back. They don't even want them. Now, Gold Star will be happy to provide a refund to the customers for their trouble. Most of, I guess, the products were sold in Indiana, Minnesota, and North Dakota. And there's a list of stores of where you could buy it. So, according to FDA's MedWatch Adverse Event Reporting System, they said adverse reactions or quality problems experienced with the use of this product may be reported to their Adverse Event Reporting System, either online by regular mail or fax. Additionally, the FDA's Smart Hub is designed to help the public navigate to the appropriate form or resources to report a problem with an FDA-regulated human or animal product, meaning defects in the quality, adverse health experience, illness, or death. So if, God forbid, something happens to you, maybe have somebody else do the reporting. So, salmonella, leptospirosis, well, we've spoken about salmonella. Salmonella is commonly associated with raw poultry and eggs, but we do also see it in cookies, crackers. It doesn't necessarily need moist environments to thrive. In fact, according to researchers at the University of Georgia, salmonella can survive at least 6 months in cookies and crackers. So we want you, if you are going to cook eggs or raw poultry, make sure the temperature reaches at least 165 degrees. I do not do sunny side up eggs. I scramble them really well. What are symptoms of salmonella? Well, You could have fever, chills, rash, diarrhea, even bloody diarrhea, stomach cramps within 12 to 72 hours after exposure. The illness can last about a week. Most people recover without treatment, but serious cases will need antibiotics and supportive measures. So people call up saying, yeah, I got the stomach bug, I got food poisoning. And I'm like, well, do you know what you have? Because I think it's important to get it tested. That's just me. And antibiotics that we'll use are fluoroquinolones or azithromycin, ceftriaxone, things like that. Now, leptospirosis, we don't talk about it as much. Leptospirosis, interestingly, is caused by the bacteria Leptospira. Pretty easy then to remember if you're a medical student. And you could get Leptospira through abrasions or cuts in your skin. According to Cleveland Clinic, it could transfer through your nose, eyes, mouth. It's a zoonotic disease. So that means we get it from animals, but you can get it from direct contact with urine or reproductive fluids from infected animals, such as what is being recalled, contact with contaminated water or soil, or if you ate the contaminated food or water. You're most at risk if you are immunocompromised. But interestingly, we see an increased risk of leptospirosis in Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, the Caribbean, parts of sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, South and Southeast Asia. We don't see a lot in the U.S. However, leptospirosis has been reported after flooding in Hawaii, Florida, Puerto Rico. So, and we spoke about that whenever there would be floods or hurricanes coming in. They say recreational freshwater activities, especially ones where you are in contaminated water for long periods of time, could put you at increased risk. So if you're whitewater rafting, swimming, boating, that kind of thing. And your risk is heavier or greater after heavy rainfall or flooding. So about 1 million people worldwide get leptospirosis each year. Sadly, 60,000 die from it. Now, there's phases to it. There's two phases. There's the leptospiremic acute phase and the immune delayed phase. Now, you may have mild symptoms, just like salmonella, no symptoms at all. But some people will go on to the immune phase, which is more severe. The leptospiremic phase, the early acute phase, can also, however, cause septicemia. And so you might feel like a flu. It might have more systemic, like all over the body, sort of symptoms. And they say it usually starts within 2 to 14 days after a leptospira infection, lasts between 3 and 10 days. Bacteria are in your bloodstream, can move to your organs. So we could run a blood test to see if you have it. Leptospira bacteria in the delayed phase, or the immune phase, has already moved into your organs. And sadly, it concentrates in the kidneys. So we might be able to pick up the immune phase in your urine. You may also have antibodies to it in your blood. Some people get very, very sick with, we call it Veals syndrome in this phase, where you get internal bleeding, kidney damage, severe yellowing of your skin and eyes, hence jaundice. So symptoms of leptospirosis are high fever, red eyes, headache, chills, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, jaundice when it affects the liver, rash, and severe leptospirosis or Veals syndrome can cause hemoptysis, where you're coughing up blood, chest pain, trouble breathing, yellowing of your skin or eyes, black tarry stool because there could be blood in it, blood in your pee, decrease urination because you could be going into kidney failure. And then you could have a certain rash where it looks like little pinpoint blood vessels have ruptured. So the bacteria, if you get this because of, touching the pee or eating it or whatever, it could be serious. So luckily we have antibiotics. And so doctors can treat you with ampicillin, amoxicillin, doxycycline, penicillin G, ceftriaxone. If you have severe leptospirosis, you're going to probably be in the hospital because we need to prevent end organ damage and organ failure. So you'll probably get IV fluids, things like that. Sometimes, if it really affects the lungs, we have to mechanically ventilate people with leptospirosis. Sometimes we have to do plasmapheresis. Plasmapheresis is where we remove the blood using a tube attached to a vein, separating the plasma from your blood, replace it with a plasma substitute, putting it back into your body, and hopefully ridding your body of a lot of the toxins and bacteria. So this is nothing to mess around with. This is ridiculous. Mild cases of leptospirosis could last a few days to a few weeks. If you have severe leptospirosis, you could be down for weeks to months. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about this recall and how many more things were affected by it. There's certain lot numbers. It's not every Almond Joy or Reese's or Cadbury Caramellos. I mean, this is crazy. This list from the FDA is huge. But make sure you get yourself checked out and look at the list of recalled foods, because I'm sure we've imbibed some of them. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY. Don't go away.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
We are back on the Dr. Dolly Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So when people try to lose weight, they've kind of learned that they need to shy away from the carbs. And they need to eat more healthy fats, not the bad fats, and increase protein. But a lot of people struggle on how to increase protein in your diet. So I'm really excited about our next guest. Amy Goodson, a registered dietitian, is also a consultant with an emphasis on overall health, wellness, sports nutrition. She has 15 years of experience and has worked with Ben Hogan Sports Medicine with the Dallas Cowboys, Texas Rangers, as well as with many students and endurance athletes. She also works with the everyday exercising population to improve health and wellness. So I am really, really excited to have Amy Goodson join us on the show today. Hi, Amy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Wow, I love that you work with athletes, because a lot of us that are, kind of pseudo athletes or maybe not endurance athletes, want to do what they do because we see how healthy they are. We see their muscle mass. Talk to us about protein and why it's so important.
So protein plays an important role in building muscle because it really provides the building blocks needed to help us fuel recovery after physical activity. And that could be physical activity from your kid's soccer game all the way to the elite athlete or the person that's just hitting the gym a few times a week. And what's important to note is that animal proteins like lean beef are one of the most nutrient-dense, complete proteins available. And that means that it provides the body with all of the essential amino acids that we need to maintain our lean muscle mass. And then what's another important thing to note is that as we age, protein really helps fuel stamina, and that's going to be critical for helping adults live independently later in life. So we want people to live, but live well, and that high-quality protein can really help with overall healthier living.
Absolutely. And so, meal preparation. A lot of times we as moms might not necessarily have the time to eat because we're preparing for, the family and the kids. How do you balance that? What do you recommend in terms of that?
Yeah, so when we talk about fueling families, when we think about the plate, I like to tell people to think about the 3-part plate rule, which means making a third of your plate high-quality protein like lean beef that promotes muscle building as well as recovery, making a third of it whole grains, so that's going to help support sustained energy. That could be oatmeal or whole grain toast in the morning, could be rice or multigrain pasta. And then, of course, a third of your plate as colorful fruits and vegetables for added vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber. But there's lots of different ways that can look. So I was teasing someone that most people don't realize you can get 5 food groups into a cheeseburger. If you do a lean ground beef patty, a slice of cheese on whole grain bun, add lettuce and tomato, and then a lot of people don't realize avocado is a fruit. Mash it up and put it on there. You know, for families that are busy, as you mentioned, doing create very easy one day making lean ground beef. And then one day using that lean ground beef in tacos. One day, throwing it into a stir fry with multigrain rice and vegetables. One night, mixing it into tomato sauce with some added veggies and whole grain pasta. So it can be a simple way to think about making a high quality protein that's got those essential nutrients that we find in beef, and then incorporating it very easily into meals and snacks so that you don't have to spend as much time in the kitchen, because I think that's one of the reasons people just eat on the fly all the time, is because my mom used to always say, the problem is you have to be home to cook. And, you know, a lot of people don't have time. So taking a few minutes to make the ground beef one night can really make your other nights easier to help get a nutrient-rich meal on the table for your family.
Absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of different sources for protein. Talk about some of your favorite.
So we know that more and more people are looking towards whole foods over processed foods for their protein intake. So I mentioned lean beef. I'm also a lover of eggs and dairy foods. So one of the important things to talk about when we talk about animal protein specifically is not only do they provide high quality protein, but lots of other essential nutrients. So beef provides iron, zinc, selenium, which is an antioxidant, as well as B vitamins. When we talk about dairy foods like milk, cheese, and yogurt, you're going to get calcium and vitamin D. When we talk about salmon, you're getting, you know, one of the best choices or options for omega-3 fatty acids. So focusing on some of those nutrient-rich proteins and then seeing how you can incorporate them into meals and snacks. I like to remind people that even powering snack time with protein, beef jerky and a banana, Greek yogurt with berries and whole grain granola, or cheese and whole grain crackers, really easy ways to help you get in that high quality protein.
And boy, does it help you feel full, too. We're speaking to Amy Goodson, registered dietitian. So you are obviously well-versed on this. And so, you know, talk to us about some of the foods that you're working on right now.
So I am a lover of incorporating high-quality protein into all the meals and snacks, starting at breakfast. So one of my favorite recipes is a beef sticky bun. So it's made with lean beef ground sausage, cheese, and veggies. So here's what I want you to think about. Taking like a whole grain pizza dough and mixing that mixture in and then rolling it up and cooking it almost like cinnamon rolls. So you slice it and cook it. And it is a perfect savory breakfast for getting kids fed in the morning, getting adults fed out the door. And you can make like a whole batch of this. So you can have it one morning. The next morning, you could very easily pop it in a microwave or in an air fryer to get it nice and sizzling. So great solution for getting protein in the morning, lunchtime. One of my favorites is a simple wrap. So I love a chimichurri steak wrap where you have like a lean flank steak. You can very easily incorporate any colorful veggies, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, red bell peppers, whatever you have in your kitchen. Wrap that up in a whole grain tortilla. If you have kids and you more want to make it into a bento box where they could make their own, that can be fun. And then what family in the world doesn't love tacos? And so what I love about doing like a braised brisket taco is on those busy days, you can very easily pop the brisket in a slow cooker, like we talked about, making it easy so that it's ready when you get home later in the day. Pop it into corn tortillas with some veggies, avocado, maybe a side Southwest salad. But what's really a bonus is that when you're making things like a slow cooker brisket, you can also have extra. So like we were talking about, you can incorporate that into other meals over the course of the week.
March is National Nutrition Month, and so we're really, really grateful that you're kind of breaking down these truths and myths of higher protein diets. And the website, talk to us about this website. There's a lot of good resources on it.
Yeah, so you can visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. So, of course, delicious recipes galore from breakfast to brunch, lunch, dinner, snacks, and entertaining, everything in between. But what's fantastic is we also have a variety of education resources to help fuel families, to help feed those active young kids. And so getting the science, as you mentioned about at the beginning, is key. So we like to give you the tips and then show you how to make it taste good.
Right. And this interview opportunity was provided by the National Cattlemen Beef Association, a contractor to the Beef Checkoff. So this was very, very informative. We're really, really grateful. Where else can our listeners find more information?
Yeah, so you can visit beefiswhatsfordinner.com, and then you're welcome to visit my website, amygoodsenrd.com. Have a blog on there. My business, we see individuals virtually for one-on-one nutrition counseling covered by medical insurance, making it more accessible to people. So we'd love to be a great resource for you.
Love it. Amy, can't wait to have you back. Thank you and your team, and God bless.
Thank you so much for having me.
1-877-Dr. Dolly, 1-877-DOCDALI. So very commonly, she brought up a really good point about health insurance coverage. Very commonly, I would send those with diabetes or those with high cholesterol or weight issues to a dietitian. We are underutilizing such a huge resource as it pertains to diet, and dietitians and nutritional referrals and nutritional visits are oftentimes covered by insurance. I don't know if that was included in the Affordable Care Act. I think it started even before then, because they realized that those of us who do struggle with certain endocrinologic issues, most medical issues also come down to your diet and what you need to do to help improve your outcome. So definitely check that out. 1-877-Dr. Dolly. Don't go away.
Carl Amari here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you, and be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit, and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799, and I'll send you my free training. I promise you I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799, and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, FREE to 99799.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Dr. Dolly, 1-877-DOCDALI. So many of you are being told by your medical provider or media to diet and exercise. Just diet and exercise, eat right. And the average patient says, it's not working for me. This isn't working for me. Well, it's because we're not all the same. Right? It's different strokes for different folks. So I am really, really excited about our next guest. Dr. Laura Kunces currently serves as Vice President of Medical Strategy at Thorne
and has been a registered dietitian for over 16 years and is a board certified specialist in sports dietetics. I am so excited that she's going to join us to talk to us about how to optimize our peak performance and nutrition. Dr. Kunces, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. So, we just kind of went through the whole, New Year's resolutions, and most people fell off their New Year's resolution by January 3rd. And no. We could pick this back up. We could salvage this. So, what are you seeing in terms of people not being able to stick with it, and what are you recommending?
You're absolutely right. Now is the time to salvage that plan that you might have started. I like to tell people to start simple and to be specific with their goals. So whether that's going to the gym or meal prepping for the week, be specific in what you're exactly going to accomplish. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. Write that down. Figure out exactly what days you're going to go, what times you're going to go, and hold yourself accountable to that plan. And it's best to track your progress and find somebody that's going to also help hold you accountable, like a community type sense. Go to some workout classes. Maybe you'll make friends there. Find a trainer or a coach at the gym. Maybe even have your spouse or a friend or family hold you accountable to it. And then finally, celebrate your milestones. If you are still on your New Year's resolutions and it's now March, celebrate that. Buy yourself a new pair of sneakers. Treat yourself to something that helps you accomplish your goals and keep you motivated, because you've done it, and soon it will become a lifestyle habit, not just a goal.
Mm-hmm. And one big motivator for me is just walking through a sports store. I get so excited about, the different options, because we think, well, I got to get back on a treadmill, or I got to go back to jogging. And there are so many different things that people could do, even if it's at home and dancing to your favorite music. There's so many ways you could stay fit.
Yeah, we're lucky to live in an age right now where there's apps for everything. And there's some phenomenal apps out there that can help you stretch at home, or breathing relaxation techniques and exercise. You don't necessarily need to have a full gym's worth of equipment. There's things that you can do at home that can get you on the right path.
Absolutely. Now, I look at these athletes, and the NFL, NBA, they have a team of people working with them. But the average athlete, like you or I, don't realize that there's certain dietary changes that we can make to enhance our performance. You're a registered dietitian, but you work with athletes. I love that combo. Talk to us about what advice you give athletes.
Yeah, believe it or not, athletes are not perfect with their nutrition, just like you and I. And so they need advice. They need help as well. And my best approach is taking a personalized approach. It's a one size fits one. Making sure that the athlete has exactly what their body needs for their goals, for their sports demands, and also for other issues that they might be experiencing. Maybe an athlete has, cholesterol because their family does, or high cholesterol because their family does, or maybe they have a nagging injury that they're dealing with. Like, everybody's just a little bit different, and everybody's body will react to different nutrients from a nutrition standpoint a little bit different. So a personalized approach is the best way to go.
Great. So talk to us about what personalized approaches are out there. I know obviously it's personal, but talk to us about, some of the routines or options people have.
Yeah, I think too, let me first define the word personalization. Probably most people don't actually know that there's fundamental aspects of nutrition that you and I and every athlete and every person on this planet needs to have, right? Like, we all need to be having protein in our diet because it's good for us. It's good for our muscles, our bones, our energy. It's a fuel source, so on and so forth. But what does that mean in terms of personalization? Well, you and I need totally different amounts of protein. We probably like different types of proteins. Obviously, there's different qualities of different proteins on the market, whether that's foods and vegetable sources, or protein, animal sources, or even supplements. And then also timing. When should you be consuming this protein? It's different for you, for me, for an athlete. So this personalized approach really breaks down the components of all of the foods and micronutrients, like vitamins and minerals, that you should be consuming, and how to best get the amount that you need in for your body's needs.
I'm grateful to Thorne for all they do and them helping sponsor this segment. I'm looking at their website, a lot of cool products. Can you talk to us about some of their products?
Yeah, so Thorne's been a leader in the science-backed health and wellness solutions for over 41 years, making dietary supplements. And there's something out there for everybody. We work with a lot of athletes, but also everyday people to formulate products for them. You know, we have a team of healthcare professionals and scientists that are constantly making and bringing out the latest ingredients so that there's things like vitamin D, probiotics, fish oils, but also really special formulas for specific needs like liver health or eye health or, you know, mental sharpness. So there's dietary supplements out there for everybody, and Thorne's a leader in these high quality formulas that, you know, can help you personalize your routine.
And also, you know, many people have asked, you know, they want to do a biological age testing. They want to do a saliva test to look for stress. They want to do a stool test for their gut health, and they don't know where to go. Or when they talk to their doctor about it, the doctor says, well, I can't order it. Your insurance might not cover it, etc. Thorne has options for people to do that type of testing.
They do, yeah. We sell testing, and it's actually the way that I help answer people the question, what should I take? I say, you know, start with a test. Figure out exactly what your body might be needing based on the physiological biomarkers that are being measured in it. And it can be as simple as a spit test. You just put into a little tube and mail it off, and you'll get some results and a personalized plan. So tests are a great way to help figure out what your body is doing and also help you track over time with different things that you might be doing differently and how your body reacts to it.
Exactly. And by the way, great gift. I mean, you know, people, we got Mother's Day coming up. You know how cool? I mean, I know my mom would be like, I don't need to know about my gut microbiome. Yes, I think she does. So this is an absolute great gift. So there's definitely advantages to that. Any other, it looks like there's also advice on weight, etc. Anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
My favorite part of Thorne.com, which is our website, is the Take 5 Daily blog. It's full of research-backed, easy to read, easy to understand blogs written by the scientists and the healthcare professionals at Thorne. So you can learn things about your hair, skin, and nails, or maybe about diabetes, or maybe about athletic performance on this blog. And it's extremely educational. It's a great place to start if you want more resources to read.
Exactly. There's been a lot of news about melatonin and all the good that melatonin could do, but you have to use it wisely, and you guys have a nice tutorial on that. So I'm grateful. Anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, you know, if you have any questions, reach out to our team at Thorne. We're always here to help and to help answer your questions. So I just want to cheers you to good health and happiness in 2025. We're only a quarter in, and there's 9 more months to still get back on your goals and to see some progress this year.
Amen. Dr. Laura Kuntses, we really appreciate you and your team. Can't wait to have you back.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right, guys, don't go away. We'll be right back. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY.
Can you believe, with all the recent violent protests, looting, and destruction, some areas are considering either defunding or abolishing the police? At a time when America's neighborhoods need the protection of police the most, some elected officials would rather create more chaos by playing politics. If you're sick of elected officials caving in to demands of the radical left, you're not alone. It's time we stand up and declare our support for local police. The majority of police officers are important partners in protecting our God-given rights. If you prefer freedom over chaos, then learn how you can help protect the local police that serve your community. Call today and request your free Support Your Local Police info packet. Dial 800-JBS-USA-1. That's 800-JBS-USA-1. Request your free Support Your Local Police info packet by calling 800-JBS-USA-1 today.